I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call us crazy. On the way to a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, just say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me away. A million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Our centering words this morning come from Richard Highland. I was in an email thread about some of the happenings in the world, and Richard's words came through my email thread, and then his words ended up on my Facebook page, and now he is going to be sharing his words with all of us. I thought it was better for him to share his words than for me to read his words. So.
To the person behind the ice mask. You, like me long ago, swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. So what's it like doing your duty, serving your country these days? Are you keeping all of us safe? Are you protecting all of us from harm? Are you finding and removing the violent evildoers out there? Or do you wonder from time to time why you find yourself raiding homes, schools, churches, courthouses, farms, construction sites, and restaurants, assuming the worst and viewing all who look or speak differently from you as suspects? This can't be easy. Detaining, breaking in, cuffing, and carrying away with screams and crying ringing in your ears must be hard. Or seeing the shock and fear in their eyes, adults and children alike, as their families splinter in the night. Or hearing that they only learn days or weeks later when finally their loved one called from detention far away. This mass deportation is hard duty. Few understand. Day after day of confrontation and removal to keep the homeland safe. Day after day of demands for performance in the only way it counts. That is to say, body count. The number of detained each day, each week, each month. The only way to document how you are keeping us safe from the invaders without and the enemy within. Oh yes, I remember that metric and that tragedy so long ago. Like you, it was my duty too to protect and defend my country from the evildoers without and the enemy within. For I was a soldier in Vietnam, fighting in a war where friends by day could be enemies at night. A hard duty where the enemy was elusive, the difference between right and wrong unclear, and the only thing that counted was body count. Day after day, week after week, it went on. Killing and destruction, until it broke me and haunts my memories still. There was no victory, only loss. Will mass deportation be the same for you? Will your memories of what you did haunt you as well? So I think of you behind your mask, hoping you can do better than I did in serving our country in this difficult time. by truly doing your duty for your country and the Constitution that governs it.
This community of care is created through our work and our time together, our commitment to one another. This is our covenant, to walk together in loving friendship and fellowship, to share our hopes and our values. As we pass these baskets, we thank you for your generous gifts, which support the work of this religious community and the Unitarian Universalism in the world at large. As a reflection of our values, we are pleased to participate in the Change for Change program. The coins you place in the basket today will support the work of nonprofits in and around the Grand Valley. So with gratitude, we will now receive today's offering. This congregation is a community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to its life, we affirm our lives within it. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in hymn number 170, We Are a Gentle, Angry People, in our gray hymn.
morning, we are back in that day and age when you never know what you're going to get from me on a Sunday morning. There were a few years there where I could actually come up with a sermon title and then I could keep it. But I think it's important as a faith community that when we come together on Sunday mornings, we are staying relevant. And that's why I always try to be relevant with what is happening in the world and how can we bring who we are as a faith community, who we are as Unitarian Universalists, to what is actually happening in the world. And so as I was holding space this week for what is happening, the energy, right, that I was holding space for was something called Alligator Alcatraz. It was something called A Big Beautiful Bill. And I was preparing to speak about that, and then on the 4th, there were these floods in Texas. And so many people just lost their lives unexpectedly. And the Camp Mystic, it breaks my heart. And isn't that what it means to be here today? That we can be paying attention to what's going on in the world. We can be paying attention to policies that are cruel, that are institutionalized hate. And we start to gear up to be this gentle, angry people. And then something happens and it breaks open our hearts. And so, as we're here together today, I invite us to hold all of this together with what this means to be who we are as Americans today, who we are as human beings. How do we be in a world, in a country, and I will say this, as when we train chaplains, we talk about systems a lot. We talk about who are we within a system. And what I want to say right now today is that cruelty is being institutionalized as policy in our governmental system today. And what do we do with that? For the last few months, I have been talking about how do we figure out what matters to us? What are the shields that we're going to be? What do we stand up for? Do we stand up for science? Do we stand up for education? Do we stand up for our immigrants? Do we stand up for the environment? What do we stand up for? I've talked about how, as people who care, the analogy of being in a choir and holding a note, and when you feel like you can't breathe anymore in a choir, you take a deep breath, knowing that your choir members are maintaining that note, and then you catch your breath, you go back in with your own voice. And so where I feel like I'm needing to switch shields, so to speak, is that I feel like for the last few months we've been trying to keep something and protect something. And now what I realize what I need to protect and help us protect is our soul. How do we maintain our souls? How do we maintain a wide open heart when cruelty is being institutionalized as policy, and from the top down, from the highest levels in this country, we are being told that it is okay to hate your neighbor. It is okay to put masks on and terrorize people, that it is okay to do this because it's okay to hate. And what I realize is that as a human being, as an American, as a minister, I have to stand up here and say, it's not okay to hate. It's not okay for us to start to lose our humanity, to start to lose who we are, to start to be so angry that we want to fight back or hit back or hurt back. And I know that sometimes this week, seeing some of what I've seen and the frustration and the sense of powerlessness, there is anger there. But I don't want to give over my power to somebody who is trying to tell us that it's okay, that who we are as Americans is now hateful, mean people. I'm not going there. That's not okay with me. And so, as I was gearing up for these kind of words today, like I said, that flood happened. And it puts everything in perspective. And who am I choosing to be in relation to seeing people who are hurting around me? A few weeks ago, and it looks like Jamie went down with the kids. Oh, Jamie's here. I was talking to Jamie Kavanaugh about the fact that Nathaniel, my 19-year-old, is maybe wanting to become an EMT. Maybe wanting, I don't know why I'm crying, this is not the place to cry. Maybe wanting to be a paramedic. But I was having this conversation with Nathaniel, and I was like, this could be a wonderful career for you, but you have to understand that if you are a first responder, you are going to see things that you will never be able to unsee. You are going to see things that break your heart. And Jamie was at the meditation a few weeks ago. He's a firefighter, and I was telling Jamie about this, and I said, how do you do that? How do you do this profession that you do? And he said, I said, how does it not break your heart? And Jamie said, it does break my heart every day, but I choose to have my heart break wide open instead of breaking closed. And I have been thinking about that for weeks. How do we break our hearts wide open instead of letting them break and close? And I think that's going to be the key for these next few months, for maybe even these next few years. We are going to see things over and over again that break our hearts. And sometimes it's things that just happen, right? Fires just happen, floods just happen, accidents just happen, a diagnosis just happens. But I think where the moral injury comes in, and the beautiful reading that we had from Richard this morning, what happens is, who are we when our hearts are being broken because of needless policy? When our hearts and the pain is happening because of decisions by people, big fish, who have more power and are using that power to install cruelty. That's where I feel like my heart wants to break closed, because that's where the anger comes in, that's where the frustration comes in, that's where the wanting to lash out comes in. And yet, the truth of the matter is, we can't control other people. We can't make somebody else care. We can't make somebody be compassionate. And so what do we do? How do we, if we want a society a culture, a country of people who are open-hearted and compassionate and caring. How do we do that? You can't get somebody to care by screaming at them, by intellectualizing them. I think the only way that we get people to care is that we become the caring people that we want to see. We become the people who haven't lost our humanity in the midst of pain and crisis. We become the people that act out in the world and care and help in the world. And then maybe if they see somebody reaching across and opening their heart with a heart that maybe is broken, but perhaps that heart has been broken open, and they see other people in the midst of the systemized cruelty, in the midst of the pain, in the midst of their anger, with a broken, open heart, still offering compassion and love and kindness and help. Maybe at some point, that becomes the inspiration for them to reach out and say, I want to be a little bit different, because living my world in this bubble of anger and fear doesn't feel really good. What might it be like to have a heart wide open? And so that's what I've been thinking about these last few weeks. And for the last few weeks, I've also been referring to this, this book, this big, thick book from Yogananda. And, as things happen, in the chapter I was reading, he was talking about his understanding of what happens when Jesus goes into the temple and the marketplace, and he turns over the tables because they are making money in the middle of something that should be sacred. And Yogananda talks about, for truly enlightened people, and I'm not saying that's any of us yet, but for spiritual mentors, he talks about that the anger that Jesus expressed was not actual anger. It came from a deep spiritual power of gentleness. And this anger, he says, they may use this power, this strong power, in a forceful dramatization to admonish those who are stubbornly irresponsive to gentler vibrations. Isn't that a beautiful phrase? To admonish those who are stubbornly irresponsive to gentler vibrations. When Jesus was expressing his power, his righteous anger, it wasn't an out of control anger. It wasn't an out of control rage. It was a spiritual power that was being sustained with the underlining premise of gentleness, compassion, and love. And that's why it was so powerful. He says, in fact, it was not the whip, but the vibration of colossal spiritual force expressing through his personality that routed the merchants and the money changers. The Spirit of God was within him, a power that was irresistible, causing a throng of able-bodied men to flee before the intensely pervasive vibration of a single paragon of meekness. One should always have the moral courage and backbone to show strength when the occasion calls for it. I'm going to say that again because I also really like this phrase. The the vibration of colossal spiritual force expressing through his personality that routed the merchants and the money changers, because that spiritual power was within him. I think that's what we're talking about. That is what is needed right now. When the song that we just sang says, we are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. We are loving for our lives. We are being compassionate for our lives, because those spiritual attributes of compassion, love, meekness, those, humility, those are strength. That is power. We have just been taught to, first of all, be scared of it. We've been taught that that's not power. And I think we're taught that the loudest, the angriest, the meanest among us have the most power, because what happens when we choose not to believe that? What happens when we decide that our power is in our voice, our power is in our love, our power is in our compassion, our power is in our togetherness, our power is in our communication, our power is in our heart that has just broken wide open. And when you have millions of people with hearts who have just broken wide open, I think that is a force to be reckoned with. And so if any of you this week have been feeling like your heart is breaking, it's okay. Let your heart break. But where your power lies is, are you going to let your heart break and close? Or are you going to let your heart break and go wide open? And that is where our power is. That is where our strength is. And so Maya, with Jamie, was at, their families were at Wolf Camp, I think that's what it was called, last week. And there was a music group called Friction Farm, who apparently sounds like they're a really good, talented group. And she was telling me about this song, and I want to close today with this song, but I'm going to read the words first, and then Corey's going to share it. Open up your door, ask somebody in, wage a little kindness, help end their suffering. Give up just a little bit of all that you have won. You are louder, louder than a gun. Sing your song of courage, get ready to take a stand. Sing your song of justice, aim to lend a helping hand. Sing your song of hope, like the fire of 1,000 suns. Sing your song of peace, we are louder than guns. Give that kid a second chance, benefit of the doubt. Help to make them fit in, not look for a way out. Show them what you've learned about love and compassion. You are louder, louder than a gun. Sing your song of courage, get ready to take a stand. Sing your song of justice, aim to lend a helping hand. Sing your song of hope, like the fire of 1,000 suns. Sing your song of peace, we are louder than guns. Let go of the ancient grudge, see people as they are. Forget about the us and them, we're just dust from a single star. Practice what you preach, be fair to everyone. You are louder, louder than a gun. Sing your song of courage, get ready to take a stand. Sing your song of justice, aim to lend a helping hand. Sing your song of hope like the fire of 1,000 suns. Sing your song of peace. We are louder than guns. Those lyrics are in your insert if you want to read along as we listen to this music.
We do it all kindness, help and fair suffering. Give up just a little bit of all that you have won. You are louder, louder than a gun. Sing your song of courage. Get ready to take a stand. Sing your song of justice. Angel in the helping hand. Sing your song of hope like the fire of 1,000 suns. Sing your song of peace. We are louder than guns. Give that kid a second chance. Benefit of the doubt. Help them find a way to fit in, not look for a way out. Show them what you've learned about love and compassion. You are louder, louder than a gun. Sing your song of courage. Get ready to take a stand. Sing your song of justice. Angel in the helping hand. Sing your song of hope like the fire of 1,000 suns. Sing your song of peace. We are louder than guns. Let go of the ancient grudge. See people as they are. Forget about the us and them. We're just dust from a single star. Practice what you preach. Be fair to everyone. You are louder, louder than a gun. Sing your song of courage. Get ready to take a stand. Sing your song of justice. Angel in the helping hand. Sing your song of hope like the fire of 1,000 suns. Sing your song of peace. We are louder than guns. We are louder than guns. We are louder than guns. We are louder. We are louder. We are louder.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitments. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go now in peace. Amen.